always throwing out the numbers and saying 1 week doesn't establish a trend or a direction. Certainly a single week really doesn't do much. But when you start seeing a couple weeks of a specific pattern, then we've been kind of raising the red flag for the last 2 weeks, saying we've identified a shift and a trend. And for at least the last 6 months, what we keep seeing, we're just talking about the single component of how many new listings compared to how many sold properties, general inventory of single family homes. So we're not covering all the markets, condos, multi-unit. We're just covering single family, but it's the primary core of the market. That's an easy space to establish a trend from. Yeah, cool. So you got it up there.
So there you go. Like you said, Darren, we've been watching this a while. What I thought was interesting is the last 2 weeks, you can see new listings. May 5th, 15, we're now at 61. And last week we're at 54.
Yeah. But the ratio is the key there. I mean, it clearly shows it was already shrinking. So you showed 8 weeks, but I think previous to that, the sold to new listing ratio was even higher. There was a larger gap between the two. It comes into balance. I think we have 1 week there that's almost exactly even. It expands out in early June, and then
you see it
second week. Yeah, and then it blows up. The last 2 weeks it's blown up. So particularly the most recent week,
and at the same
61
time
to 16.
Right. Yeah, and at the same time you can look at the solds, and that's the lowest number in the last 8 weeks.
Right. Now, nothing is absolute. Who knows what next week will bring? But it is a trend. Things go up and down in general. We'll continue to monitor it. But I think I'm glad you put this 8-week history together, because this is by far the largest gap between the amount of new listings compared to solds, which means an increase in inventory is the bottom line. So we'll continue to monitor that.
Yeah. And then, you know what I'm going to try to do? I didn't have time to do it today, but I'm going to see if there's any sort of data magic I can figure out to track reductions over a market.
Sure.
And just see if we can figure that one out.
And that's all consistent with this. We've been seeing that too. More price reductions.
Yeah.
So again,
go ahead. Sorry.
We just want to point out that again, the most desirable homes might not fall into these categories of price reductions or longer lead times. But if there's something wrong with the property, people are a little more hesitant, or if it just doesn't check all the boxes, a little more hesitant. So the 16 solds were probably either priced a little better or just more highly desirable, because you'll see in our stats today, there's still properties selling well over list price. And it's just a good match and a good time. And or these people are also thinking about what we just discussed, and that is rates are going to continue to rise. It's only going to get worse if I'm committed to purchasing a home. So why wait?
Well, and that's the thing, you always remind me of this, and it's true, late July, when we look at this again, I'm sure we'll have an even clearer picture of what's going on here. Because this is still lagging 30 days before for most of these sales. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Okay. Yeah. If you just look at the numbers, as you point that out, Joe, not even comparing listings to solds, but just seeing the increase in the number of new listings, not just the ratio between the new and the sold, but the quantity of new listings compared to the quantity of fewer sales, even on a week-to-week basis. So there are more actives coming on the market than there were before, and there are fewer sales. So they're both moving exponentially in each direction.